What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Logisticalstyles coming at you with another video. And today I think it's going to be a bit of a rant day. Today I want to talk about DJs who don't respect the craft. DJs who are our own worst enemies. DJs who are screwing it up for other working DJs. And I've come across a couple of instances of this recently, and I think it's something that's part of a bigger issue with the DJ community. I think there are too many DJs, and that sounds like gatekeeping or whatever, but I think it's oversaturated, and it's gotten to a point where it's starting to really hurt the industry, and people don't see it. People don't want to see it. People act like what another DJ does doesn't affect them, and I'm here to tell you it does, and it can. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've had a couple of instances over the past week where I've heard about horrible behavior from DJs and how it affected the way the client was going to work with DJs in the future. And then I've seen instances of a worse case scenario where a client has decided, or a venue has decided, no, we just won't use DJs at all, based off of the actions of one, possibly a handful of DJs. So I guess it's story time. So, first one is a quick one. It was a coworker who came up to me yesterday at work, and he's an attorney, so he's got kids that he puts through to a really nice school. I think it's a private school in the northern suburbs of Atlanta, and it's that time of year right now where field day is happening at schools. Kids are having field day. Schools are hiring DJs to come out and perform. And when you play at a school, you gotta use your brain. You gotta use common sense. You play clean versions of family-friendly music. Well, this particular DJ they hired, he did not do that. In fact, not only did he play bad music or dirty music on the during the event, he also got on the microphone and was speaking and slipping out dropping the N-word as he's talking on the mic. The staff, the parents, they're all mortified. They're trying to tell him, hey, tone it down a little bit, change it up. And it was to no avail. It got to the point where they told him, just stop. The gig's over. Just stop. We don't need you anymore. And he continued to play. They actually had to pull the plug from his equipment to get the music to stop. And now that didn't affect me personally directly, but it really did affect the people who were in attendance and their perception on DJs and the value of having a DJ at these type of events. I think they made a mistake by not vetting this person properly, or maybe this person just slipped through the cracks, but they came in and they had no regard for what the gig actually required, and they made a fool of themselves and of the DJing profession. Now, my coworker asked me if I'd be interested in taking over the reins, but I was like, no, I'm good. I don't do kids events, and I really don't want to travel that far anyway for a kid event, a school event out in the sun. So that's how, things can get out of hand at a school event. But another instance that this has happened to me was at a gig that I was booked for. I was actually booked to DJ a graduation party. This was like a law school graduation party. So it was a grown adult event, and it was being held at a bar at a hotel lounge bar type situation. And I've actually played for this client before at this same location. And when I played there last year, I was told that normally the venue doesn't have DJs there, but they do make exceptions. They don't have outside DJs. They had a certain select list of DJs they worked with, but they made an exception for me. It worked out well. They were happy. The client comes this year and it wants to have it at the same location. The person she spoke to said, only if you have the guy you had last year, which was me. So everything was good. I get there to the event. There's a different manager on duty, and this person is like, no, we just don't do DJs at all. There are no DJs at this location because the last DJ that showed up here played all kinds of inappropriate music at a loud volume, invited other friend DJs to come along and spin sets during the gig, and they played equally as bad music, and it just did not do well with the crowd that was there for the party or for the people who were just in the bar and not part of the party. So as a result of that, this bar no longer allows DJs to come in and perform at all, not even their select special group. And that actually hurt my pockets because the client, even though they paid me my deposit for me showing up, I didn't feel right charging this client the rest of the balance for the party because it wasn't her fault. She was given wrong information by somebody else that was there. And I want to continue to have a relationship with this client because I want her to book me again because she's already shown that she is willing to book me again. So sometimes you have to, pick and choose your battles. And this is one. And then this was like my third gig of that weekend within a 24-hour period. So I wasn't exactly gung-ho to do the gig. I was kind of tired, so I was happy to go home. But it just showed me how the actions of other DJs who go out there and play for themselves, only care about themselves, and don't really care about the craft of DJing, how they can ruin it. Like in one instance, the opportunity, the school instance I told you about, that school now has a different view of DJs and are going to actually pay less because they don't value a DJ as much. And then there are instances like this hotel bar where they just won't have DJs at all.